The enemy king stands proud on e8. Your pieces are ready. The center is about to explode. And your king is already sweating. Welcome to the King's Gambit. So you know how normal people start their chess games with safe moves, good development, and, you know, not exposing their king? Yeah, we're not doing that today. Because the King's Gambit is the opening where you casually throw your F-pawn into the void and pray your opponent isn't fully awake yet. It's risky, it's stupid, it's brilliant, it's chaotic, and somehow it works. If you've ever wanted to feel like a genius and an idiot at the exact same time, this is the opening for you. It starts with a very normal move, pushing the king's pawn 2 squares forward. Black copies you because that's what black does. And now, here comes the magic. You push your f-pawn. This is the moment where black goes, "Oh dear God, what should I play now?" You're offering a pawn right next to your king on move 2. But here's the idea. You want to open the f-file, get super fast development, and start attacking before black even finishes their morning coffee. And then almost all of the players will take the pawn, because why wouldn't they? And now you bring out your knight. This is you saying, okay, fine, take the pawn, but don't you dare check me with your queen. So now black has a couple of choices. And by choices, I mean different ways to suffer. If black tries to develop his knight like a normal, civilized human being, you just push your pawn forward. Instant pressure. He either retreats the knight like a scared little piece off, bad word, or he puts it on a square that's not very safe. But let's be real. The move you'll see the most, according to the mightychess.com database, is the classic pawn push, g5. And this is where the King's Gambit actually becomes the King's Gambit. This is where we flip the switch from reasonable chess player to I'm all in. Play h4. If black takes it, which is a lovely mistake, you hit them with the big center push, attacking his pawn at the same time. If black tries to defend the pawn with his own pawn from the side, you just take it, and he can't take back, because then his rook falls off the board. Imagine losing a rook on move 6. Embarrassing. If black defends with the other pawn, oh boy. Now you sacrifice the knight on purpose. A real sacrifice. Not the oops kind. The yes, this is brilliant, stop asking questions kind. You drop the knight, you open lines, your queen checks the king, and suddenly you're winning all the pawns, the knight. And sometimes the rook too, if black is feeling generous. It's like a tactical Black Friday sale. So what's black's only good move here? Pushing his pawn, but tiny problem. Because from this moment on, we only attack. No defending, no thinking, just pure violence. You jump your knight to the center. Threatening this pawn, he brings his knight to defend, and now you have options. You can simply take the pawn, and if they take back, boom, your queen appears targeting everything. Or you can bring your bishop out aimed straight at the pawn on f7. You know, the famous weak spot. Either way, you've got the mega attack, the classic King's Gambit pressure cooker. The kind of position where black is like, why? Why did I take that pawn? And just when white is about to absolutely destroy the black king, something strange happens. The black king suddenly goes, yeah, no, I don't like this position. Then he pulls out a literal time return machine, smacks the button, and boom! We're back on move 2. Same board, same pieces. Same questionable life choices. But this time, black decides to be smart, or at least pretend to be smart. Instead of taking the pawn, the king says, I refuse to fall for your tricks. And black plays the most common move in the declined line, d5. This is black trying to be theory approved, tease the chess equivalent of saying, I'm going to be responsible today, right before immediately blundering everything later. So this is how you play this, and remember, do not take this pawn, it's a blunder. He will give you a check with his queen, which is bad instead. Take the other pawn. Now, black has choices, but the main one is to recapture with the queen, which already looks funny because the queen is out way too early. She's basically standing in the middle of the board like, hi everyone, please attack me, I love being chased. Then you develop the knight attacking her. Black tucks the queen back, pretending nothing happened. You calmly bring out your bishop, you get ready to castle, and meanwhile black has developed absolutely nobody, zero, nothing. Just the queen doing marathons around the board like she's training for the Olympics. Let's rewind the timeline again for a moment. What if black tried something else? What if, instead of going into that queen disaster, black pushed a pawn to stop you from developing your knight? You don't care. You just play in the center. If black takes your pawn there, perfect. You continue developing normally, you open lines, and you're simply up a pawn for free. And if black doesn't take, let's say he develops his knight instead, trying to look confident. You can just take the pawn whenever you want, stay a pawn up, and keep developing your pieces. And the funniest part? Even though black declined the pawn, even though they avoided the dangerous stuff, even though they tried to time travel away from the chaos, white still gets the better position. Because the whole point of the king's gambit isn't just the pawn sacrifice, it's the rapid development, the attacking squares, and the fact that you force black to react from move 2. So yeah, black went back in time, changed decisions, picked the smart line, and they still end up worse. Beautiful. All right, let's talk about the best part of the king's gambit. Watching black make one tiny mistake and how you can punish him. Because in this opening, one wrong move from black, and it's game over for him. If he plays f6 thinking they're being clever or solid, you just grab the pawn immediately. And here's the funny part. Black cannot take it back. If they recapture, your queen comes out with a check, and if you're below 1,000 elo, you might even win a rook. Another mistake that you might face a lot is black trying to make the Indian defense, and when they do that, you simply develop your knight, preventing the queen check, and you take the center pawn for free. There is no trick here, no deep idea. You just grab the pawn and black can't recapture because everything collapses instantly. And that is the king's gambit. The opening that lets you attack from move 2, punish every tiny mistake, and make black regret every decision they've made in the last 5 minutes. It's wild, it's aggressive, it's chaotic, and honestly, it's one of the most fun ways to start a chess game, no matter what rating you are. And hey, this was actually my first video on this channel, so if you enjoyed it, get ready, because I'm planning to upload every single week. And just so you know, before even launching this channel, I already made 20 videos in advance to keep the schedule alive, so make sure to subscribe to not miss any. The next video is going to be all about when you should sacrifice pieces and when you absolutely should not. Because I've seen way too many people sacking their rook just because they saw Gotham Chess do it once. I really put a lot of effort into these videos, so please tell me your honest opinion and if there's anything I can improve. Thanks for watching, and welcome to the beginning of this channel. See you next week, nerds!